What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Social media is buzzing about Barack Obama, laughing it up, palling around, as Sarah Palin would put it, with the supposed enemy in Donald Trump. Now, of course, former President Barack Obama, who was one of the biggest critics of Donald Trump during the latter stages, especially of this 2024 presidential campaign. A man who Donald Trump himself has been very critical of Barack Obama during his initial term as president, 2017, 2021. These guys are laughing up at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Of course, Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States, passed away December 29th at the age of 100. He was our longest lived American president and the only one to make it to be a centenarian. His funeral was held at the Washington National Cathedral, and I think it was January the 9th. And anyway, Barack Obama was having some sort of conversation and laughing and nodding, and so they were engaged in some sort of small talk. Now, Michelle Obama wasn't there. I suspect, because the seating arrangements are already prearranged, I suspect she wasn't there because she can't stand Donald Trump. Now, that's real. She don't like that guy. She can't stand him. She couldn't even hide it really during the Trump's inauguration back in 2017. You could tell from her body language she couldn't stand him then. And, and I understand why she doesn't like him, because look, it's a lot easier when you're in the arena as a candidate and people are taking shots at you. But when you love somebody and somebody attacks them, it's harder. For the spouses, it's harder for you to see people attack your husband, or in the essence of, I remember George W. Bush said when his father was getting attacked by Bill Clinton in 1992, he hated Bill Clinton. It was tougher. Or vice versa, when Daddy Bush saw Bill Clinton, who was president in 2000, attack his son when he was running president in 2000, or even in 2004, when Bill Clinton would criticize Bush, he had a hard time separating at times, I'm talking about Daddy Bush, the political side of it from the personal. And I remember one time he said, you know what, he keeps going at it, I'm going to tell you how I really feel about him. I'm talking about Bill Clinton. Although ultimately they became friends, Daddy Bush and Bill Clinton. But yeah, that's what I think. I think she's not there because she can't stand Donald Trump. But all of this is just smoke and mirrors, man. Donald Trump being Adolf Schicklgruber or the next incarnation of Benito Mussolini. All of that's BS, man. I'm not saying that he's not a horrible person. I'm just saying their rhetoric is BS. I told you back then, when they were cranking it on, they're doing that because the Democratic Party, in my opinion at least, have nothing to offer people, in particular the Black community. So the only thing they can do to motivate you is fear. That's what they do. Mitt Romney, they told you 12 years ago he was going to put all of us in chains. Now all of a sudden, Mitt Romney is one of the good Republicans. Why? Because it's all BS. I'm going to tell you another thing, too. Democrats are very soft-hearted, man. They're very soft-hearted. I'm talking about the establishment, those who are elected. They're really soft-hearted, and they don't have the fight in them, for the most part, that Republicans do. How many times do we see the Democrats say one thing, but then kiss the ass of the Republican Party? I remember when Barack Obama got in there, he was trying to be this uniting figure. He was going to be a uniter and not a divider, even though I know George W. Bush made that claim that he was going to do that, but it was bull. But Barack Obama was obsessed with trying to find common ground with the Democrats. They don't want to find common ground with you, man. They never will. But y'all saw that guy not shake Kamala Harris' hand the other day, right? The one thing I'll say about Republicans, if they don't like you, ain't gonna be no, let's come together for the good of. Nah, they are obsessed with believing that they are right and that the liberals are wrong. The liberals believe that they're right, but the liberals have a flaw, and the flaw is that they want to be fair. and in politics, that's a flaw. You got to be absolutely ruthless in politics. But Barack Obama and all these guys, though, man, they're all part of the same club. I'm talking about the elites now. They're all part of the same club. To me, they're all basically, I'm talking about the presidents now. For the most part, they're all war criminals. They don't have the average American people best interest at heart. Congress as a whole, these guys are only interested in power. They're only interested in staying in power. They're only interested in enriching themselves. I mean, you explain to me how a guy like Mitch McConnell, who was a damn dentist when he was elected in 1984, is now suddenly worth $30 million. Well, I don't want to say suddenly, because that wealth was accumulated over several decades. But still, how does a dentist go from having a dentist salary to being worth $30 million? Why do all of these politicians, even AOC, the so-called champion of the people, how does she go from being a bartender to now all of a sudden she's probably a millionaire or damn near close to it, which is kind of meager by Washington standards. I mean, some of these people have damn near, through illegal, means, whether it's insider trading, or whether it's bribes, or, kickbacks, or, whatever the case may be. How do these people on a salary that's supposed to be $180,000 a year, why does Washington have so many millionaires? And I'm not talking about the people who were elected and were rich. I'm not talking about old money. And I'm not talking about the nouveau riche either. I'm talking about people who were like you and me, get elected, and within a 10-year span, they're millionaires. Ain't that many brilliant, there aren't that many brilliant, economic savants out there. Something funny is going on. But they get away with it because they distract us with all of this vitriol they put out there to make us fight amongst each other, right? To the point where, we're offing each other off of political disagreements. And yet behind closed doors, these guys slap each other on the back, set golf dates with each other. It's like WWE, they go out there and put on a good show for the crowd, for the audience. And then you look back and Andre the Giant is, playing cards with the Iron Sheik. And you're like, wait a minute, they were just cursing each other out and fighting. It's all BS, And I've said it before too. People got to remember about Barack Obama. I know that it's starting to fade a little bit now, but the black community still has this love affair with Barack Obama. Remember this. Barack Obama, when he was president, had a foreign policy that was similar to Donald Trump when it came to illegal immigrants. People didn't have a problem with it then. The media didn't have a problem with it then. This is a guy that, and this is what really began to open up my eyes with Barack Obama, was his foreign policy. This is a guy that is a Kenyan, or at least, I shouldn't say a Kenyan, but a guy who, well, maybe he is, but this is a guy that has ties to Kenya. But basically, led a coalition assault on Africa, helped to ouster Muammar Gaddafi, who was for his people, pro-African, pan-Africanist. Muammar Gaddafi, forget all about Western depictions of him. Muammar Gaddafi was for his people and was for Africa. He was for Pan-Africa. He was for black people, period. That's all I need to know about Muammar Gaddafi. All these people now in Africa, all these leaders that are out there now, they're all a bunch of bootlicking Sambo sellouts that have sold their countries out, their respective countries out to China and all foreign interests. And they're having their resources pillaged for personal profit. And the profit they're getting is not worth 1/100th of the resources that are being stolen from the country. It's just disgusting. It's disgraceful what's happening in Africa. And don't forget that Barack Obama is the same guy who used to praise Ronald Reagan. Praise Ronald Reagan. You look up Ronald Reagan when it comes to his racism toward black people. So, I'm not surprised by that. Barack Obama, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I voted for the guy twice. I did. I voted for him twice. So we all make mistakes. Never again. I'm not voting Republican, but I'm not voting Democratic either. The Democratic Party, to me, I'm not saying, look, if you want to vote Democrat, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But me personally, the Democratic Party lost faith. They lost faith with me, man. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.